So welcome to, this is an introduction to BIS Trainer. This is our new ASA Online. We are still going to refer to it as ASA Online. However, it is switched from the provider or the program provider being what we used to call the Chabo. It is now a BIS Trainer. So there's a whole brand new system. There are definitely things that are familiar about it, but there is a lot that is new. So thank you for being here. And we really want to make sure that we have a smooth transition. So we're not delaying anybody's folks getting trained up and getting to work. So please do me the favor of muting yourselves. I've actually already muted everybody, but if you're on Zoom, you can certainly mute yourself when you need to. If you have a cell phone in the background, or if you happen to be in the training, if you can go ahead and turn the volume down on your cell phones as well, I would appreciate it. And this system has a lot of additional features that we didn't have in the old ASA Online, and we will be introducing those over the next few months. But for now, for this training, we're going to focus on the basics of what you guys need as what we call now senior reporting managers. We also have reporting learners. Those are folks that are probably going to support you. They need to see reports in the field. They need to check that their folks are done, but they're not necessarily managing people. So you guys are managing people, right? You're enrolling people, you're moving them into training, out of training, et cetera. You're checking their records. So you are a senior reporting manager. So those are the different levels we have for your companies. If you feel that you are in the right or wrong, if you feel like you're in the wrong role in our system, if you need a different training, let us know. But I think we've pretty much explained that in our emails, that there is a difference. And if you need the training, let us know. But this is the senior reporting manager, so this is the higher level for you folks that are actually enrolling folks and putting new employees in the system, et cetera. So first, I'm just going to show you the login. This is a standard login screen. Sorry, I'm just moving some things on my screen here so I can see better. All right, so this is your standard login screen. There are a few ways to do this. You can see that you can either enter a code, and we'll talk about that more later. That is a code that you would create, basically just hitting a button, and that you're going to send to a trainee. And it just makes it real easy for them to know exactly what training they're getting into. They put that code in here and it takes them to it. So very easy. Or if you're doing normal administrative duties like most of us are, then we're going to just be using our regular login. Just so you know, you will be activated during this session. And Teresa, the only one that is not here is Crystal Freeze. So if you could let Ty know that, you will get everybody activated here shortly. So you guys will be able to explore as soon as you get out of this training, see what you can do in the system. Log in. When you log in, it takes you straight to your home page. I'm not going to go too far into each of these right now. I just want to do a quick overview for you with the tabs itself and what the icon mean, and then we'll move on. So the home page basically shows what folks are assigned, what training they're assigned, what training they have in progress. So I'm on mine right now, and you can see, even though I actually did go through all of this, that in the system how-to guide, because I didn't do it, I printed it out, and so it didn't show full credit here. But if I were to get back in here and finish this, it would show in the completed down below. So in progress right here, if I just wanted to log in and resume a training that I already took, as a user or as as a trainee or as you admin folks, you can literally log in right here and resume that training. And then you've got required training. That would be looked you'd be able to see that if you had already been assigned a role in the system, if you had a training matrix set up, etc. Right now, that's a bit past the basics, so we're just going to stick with the basics, like I said. And if you have any questions along the way about, like I just said, we're going to talk about that in the future, or that's a future feature, definitely reach out to us. Let us know. We want to see what you would like to use in the system and what can be of value to you. But again, we are still setting up some of those features. So we've got the required, recommended, and then if you scroll down, you've got completed. So when you start out, these are basically all shut. You can just open all of those up. Nice and easy, except the assigned, that one's going to stay there. Any questions so far? Okay, great. All right, then we move on to the profile tab. So profile is exactly as you can imagine. It has all the personal information, and I am going to dig into this and what is required, what is not, how you set this up, etc. So I will get back to that. I want to show you the tabs first. And then the store, this is a comprehensive list of all training that is available through our platform now. And if you start digging, you'll very quickly realize there are a lot more courses available to you than there were previously. We'll talk about that a little bit more as well. But you have both NSTC and Alaska Safety Alliance trainings on here, as well as many other providers. One good example is hard hat safety. A lot of people like that are very familiar with it. So I toss out there that that is training you can get through the system as well. So be thinking about what you have already used the system for, and then be thinking about what else you might be able to use the system for. Everything from soft skills, you name it. It's pretty amazing how many courses are available on here. So let us know if there's something that you need. We'll talk about that more. All right, and then we're going to go to, oh, I do want to mention one thing about the store here. If for some reason, let's say you're on the back end as a SRM, a senior reporting manager, which you all are now, and you aren't quite sure what's in the course because you can only see the course name, but you can't necessarily see all of the information, like all of these things that you see on the screen here describing the courses in detail. Sometimes I find it easier if I'm just a little bit unsure of which course might be the right one. Good example, NSTC unescorted or unescorted plus H2S. I can go ahead and look in the store and it gives me a very detailed description. So that's kind of handy even if you are working on the back end and you don't use the store to enroll or purchase training, you can still look on there for description, and that helps you clarify what course you're looking at. So I find that pretty handy. And then we have a users tab. This users tab is organized by location. So if you were to, let's say, Alaska Safety Alliance, because this is our learning management system, we're at a tier or a hierarchy above everyone else in here, and you can see how that hierarchy flows. So good example, testing location is under us. If we were to go to, members, we can pull up all of these members here, and then that would go into your location. I'm not going to go into any of those, but that is how you would find your folks in the hierarchy. So if I wanted to find the Alaska Safety Alliance staff, I would go ahead and I would click on these numbers. I will get back to that in detail. Right now, I'm going to move on to the next slide. Next tab, excuse me. And then we've got reporting. We really think that you're going to like the reporting features amongst many other features in this system. They're very user friendly. They're very easy to manipulate, to edit the way you like. You can drag items up and down on reports so that you see what you're most interested in first. You can add sections to that report. You can take away sections to that report. So again, we'll get into the reporting features as well. And you can drill very far down within these reports to see information on individual people, on locations, or your full training, your company's training as a whole. Pretty nice to have in one spot. The calendar, you can book courses through the calendar. These are instructor-led training, and please correct me if I misspeak at all, Teresa, but these are instructor-led training. So if you had a person in Alaska CECL training, or they came in to do my first aid CPR training in person, or maybe just the skills testing, those are courses that you would find through the calendar. So that's a distinct difference, not the, but a distinct difference when you're booking an instructor-led training versus a computer-based training. You're looking at different sections of this. Any questions so far? Assets and folders, I'm not going to go into right now. It's really not something that we're working with at the moment. So there's really no reason to go over that. If we do start to use those features, we do feel that there's value in there for our members, and we're definitely going to roll that out to you. But that is for a later date. And then we have the admin tab, which we're not going to go over on this one, because that's one for ASA folks. All right. Any questions on any of that so far? All right, awesome. So these tabs are going to vary based on user permissions, which is why I can see some tabs that you won't see. Reporting learners won't have some of the tabs that you guys have. So those will vary with your level in your hierarchy of permissions. Good example, I want to go back just a moment to the store tab, and I want to show you what it looks like if someone checks out in the store tab. So I'm just going to use NSTC unescorted. I'm showing you this because I don't want you to think you're getting charged a whole bunch of different times or that you don't get the exact same discounted rate that you used to. You have, I shouldn't say it's a tiny bit different. I think within a dollar or so. NSTC unescorted, if I pick this, I can go ahead and add this to my cart. I can go back up to my cart, just like any online, like Amazon. It's pretty easy. Just go up to your cart and then you can see how all of the modules that are in NSTC unescorted are listed here for you. So I just wanted to show you that because it's not just one course like it used to be, and I don't want you to think that you did something wrong the first time that you do this. So it will show all of those modules. Any questions so far? All right. We're going to go back to the users tab. This is the one that you are probably going to use the most. All right, so you're going to select the user tab, and that's going to bring you to this hierarchy that I already showed you. You can view and edit users that you have access to. So if someone is under another company's hierarchy, you're not going to have access to them. If for any reason you need to move someone into your company that already exists in our system or out of your company, you can deactivate folks. You cannot delete them, and you cannot transfer them to a completely different company. So you have control under your hierarchy. If you needed to actually transfer someone, like let's say someone's coming to work for you, you know they were just working for a member company, call ASA and we'll transfer that person for you. Not an issue. We can do that whenever you need it, but that is one of the permissions that is a bit more limited for an SRM. And then I just want to tell you, because this morning I tested it out and it actually says delete. When you deactivate a person, and I will show you how to do that, it will actually pop up a little message that says, are you sure you want to delete this person? Please know that you are not actually deleting anyone. In fact, it's physically impossible for even us to delete a person completely. Obviously, it's a learning management system. We want to keep their records. If for some reason we really needed to, we would get what we call a purge code. So that is something that Teresa even helps us with internally. We typically do not delete anyone out of systems like this. Any questions so far? Okay, so again, if someone falls under your hierarchy or is at your level of hierarchy within your company, you can transfer those folks if you have different locations in your company, etc. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just dig in here. Alaska Safety Alliance. In fact, I'm going to use me right here. Alaska Safety Alliance staff. You're going to click on the number. So this, I'm going to say this about 2 or 3 times right now because I really want this to stick in your head. When I started learning this system, this is one of the things I just really had to drill into my brain. Where do I go to find my people? I go to users. I find my hierarchy. I find my people within that number. If you're going over here, it's not going to allow you to get to those folks. You have to go to the number. Good. I know it seems like a real simple thing. I shouldn't have to repeat a bunch of times, but for some reason, it's just real easy to look other places. So I'm going to go ahead and go into Alaska Safety Alliance staff because I'm going to use my own information here real quick. And you'll be able to see sorry, give me just 1 second here. You'll be able to view the user information, select the username. This will take you to their profile, which right here, oh, this is not the right one. I apologize. There we go. All right, so I can see myself right here. And I can just go ahead and open up that account. And I know it's going to show my address. That's okay with me. And this is where you're gonna see all of their profile information. Any questions on that so far? Okay.
Hey, Carrie, it's Teresa.
Hi.
I just wanted to say maybe we should go into the Senior Reporting Manager test account because I think this page will look a little different for them.
Yep, absolutely. Just thinking that. So from here you can edit, etc. So what I am going to do is, Teresa's right, we have different things set up as far as user testing. I'm sorry, as far as user accounts here. Teresa, am I supposed to be using the course testing? I apologize. I got all mixed up on that one.
Oh yeah, it's under the course testing location.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so right here, we've got a senior reporting manager here. So I'm going to go into here so I can show you exactly what you're going to see. And the way I do that is I pick that profile and then I just do a direct login. Continue. I haven't seen that yet, Teresa. That was a new one for me. All right, so again, you can see if they're in progress, if it's required, recommended, etc. Okay, and I don't want to go too far into that. I'm not trying to teach you how to assign courses quite yet. We're going to move on because I wanted to show you the tabs and then again the icons on this website. So the next thing we're going to look at is, this was a question. It's an information icon, basically. So you've got a couple different information icons. The one with the question mark is Biz Trainer's contact information. So if you need, if you want to look through frequently asked questions over here on the left, if you want to email them, you can always email help@biztrainer.com. If you want to call them, you can call them, or you can fill out a support form if you're not in so much of a hurry. So I want to talk about a few things here. You can call toll free between 6 a.m. and 3 p.m. Alaska time. This is a Canadian company, so they are a little bit different time zone than us, not too far, but so it'd be 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. And of course, you can always call Alaska Safety Alliance. We are open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Give us a call if for some reason you need help, if this trainer is not available, or maybe it's just a thing that we're going to do for you, like transfer someone, etc. If we look at the top left, again, you can see those frequently asked questions. This is really nice. Let's say I want to reset something and I just don't remember how, and I don't really want to call anybody if I don't have to. It's that easy. I put in reset, that sucker pulls up some facts. It's going to tell us the fact itself. I can do view facts down here. And it's almost always going to give you information in a written, practically step-by-step form. As well, it's going to show you a video if there's one available, and if there's any documentation that should be attached to that, that will be in that section as well. So very handy information. You can see a lot of info without having to contact anyone, but by all means, if you need to contact us or BIS, please do let us know. And that's something that's really nice as well. That's an advantage over the old system, is that you didn't have anyone else to call if we were closed or if we were maybe not quite open yet. Obviously, we want to be here for you as much as we can, but this allows us to be functionally available to you within our learning system a little bit better than we have with Docebo. So they can support us as well, and they can support you as well. Any questions on any of that? All right, moving on. So I've got what I call an info eye here, what Biz Trainer calls an info eye in the top right corner. And I will just tell you that I've been learning this system for, gosh, probably 3-4 months off and on now. Little tiny things change. This was a telephone about a week ago. So if you get confused, just give us a call. Tiny little things change, but nobody likes change, but everybody likes improvement, right? And I definitely will say that every time so far, it seems like it's an improvement. So have a little bit of patience. They are always improving. If something doesn't look quite the same as it does in maybe an instruction we made or a training that we've done, go ahead and reach out and ask if you're not sure. So info I. At the top right, next to the question mark, sort of, you'll see the info I. Selecting the info icon on any page will show you what you can do within that page. So good example, I'm on the frequently asked page and it just says you're going to learn about this information. If I go to the home screen, I have the ability to do a lot more, and you'll see this actually stays open unless I close it. So I can close it, or I can open that back up again. And it's going to tell me what's specific to that page that I'm working on, which is pretty nice as well. Any questions on that? Right. The construction worker. This little guy. This is your profile. If you wanted to view your profile, you just go ahead and hit that drop down that says view profile. Here you can access, again, your personal information. So this is your profile, not trainers or anything else. Good. All right, so if there are no questions on that, I'm going to move on to how to actually create a new user profile. So we're going to go to users. We're going to select the number again within that section, number, within that location, I should say, excuse me. The top right, we have an add users button. Pretty simple. You're going to add a user. Usually it starts at the top here. You're going to add a user, add that user information, first name, last name, address, city, country, state, zip, cell phone, and email. So you will see that some of these have asterisks next to them. Some do not. Please ensure for your sake, for our sake, for the user's sake, that you put in an email address. I'll show you several steps that will save you time later because you put in this email address. Good example, you don't have to print out a piece of paper and give it to them to provide them the code. You can just hit print invitation to invite them to the system. You can hit print code. You don't have to hit print. You can hit email. Otherwise, if you have no email in there, you're going to have to print something. So it's a lot easier for you as well. They're going to get notifications. They're going to get completion notifications. You want to have an email in there. So please, please do not skip that part. So again, first name, last name, etc. That email is really important. Next, you're going to set the system user role. Everyone should be setting everyone to learner. So right here is learner. If you have any reporting learners or any SRMs that you need to create for your company, please do just give us a call and let us know. For purposes, especially like needing this kind of training or being able to reach out to folks, we need to easily be able to see who that is and know who that is at your company. And we'd also like to just make sure if they'd like the training or anything like that, that we can help them out. So please do give us a call if you're going to create anything, learner or other permissions wise, past just a learner. I said that wrong, excuse me. All right, and then to complete the profile, you're just going to go down here and you're going to hit create account. Make sure I didn't miss anything there. And again, just a reminder, you'll only be able to edit or create users at your level or below. But again, your level is SRM. Please do give us a call for those. Good. Just check the chat. I don't see any chats or raised hands, so I hope y'all can hear me. All right, if you need to reset a password, you would simply go to the user tab. You would go into your users, select your user, and you can see how easy that is. Here's your user. You don't even have to select on their account. You just select the line that they're on and you hit reset password. It's really that easy.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if they forget their password, they can get a hold of me and say, hey, I got my
Absolutely.
password, I can go reset it.
Yep. And in the past, you typically, I think you had to call us for that, or we couldn't see it, so we couldn't give it out, right? So we just had to hit reset anyway, basically, or reset it manually. So this is reset password. It's that easy. If you don't have any questions on that, it's pretty easy. I'm going to move on. Okay. If you want to send and print invitations, you're going to select the user and you're going to go to print. See how it says email invitation and print invitation up here? If you had an email address in their profile, all you'd have to do is hit a button that's going to send them an invitation, and they're going to use that invitation information to log into the system. This then activates that user in the system. If you did not put in an email, you would have a button right here that says print invitation. So why do I not have either? Because this learner has not been sent an invitation and is not active in the system yet. So I don't see either of those options. So here's a good example, print invitation. We don't have the email section because we didn't put an email in there. Does that make sense? Any questions on any of that? Thanks for using your imagination for some of those buttons. It's a much smoother process as an admin if you don't have to print anything and if you can just put that email in. So it starts to show you as we progress why it's so handy to have that email in there. And again, if you're going to transfer a user, If you need to transfer them outside of a company, please do let us know. If you need to transfer within your own company, again, if those folks are at or lower than your level, you would literally just hit this button that says move users. Right now, I haven't selected any. So if I was to select this user, I would just click that button. Oh, I'm so sorry. Wrong button. I would select this button and it would say move users. And then you have a chance to pick your locations. Good, it's that easy, and then you hit submit, and they'll move. To deactivate an employee, again, pretty darn easy. This is a really user-friendly system. You're literally going to select the employee, and you're going to hit deactivate users. And I'm actually going to do this so that I can show you what happens. It actually says the word delete, but that's not quite right. I promise you, you are not deleting people. That is not possible for you to do. So deactivate is the correct term. Don't let this throw you off. So I want to deactivate this person. I would go ahead and hit delete. Any questions on any of that? All right, so how do we enroll people? We've created a user, we've looked at our store, we know how to what we need in profiles. Let's go ahead and actually assign this user a training. So we're going to go, you would go up to users. I'm just going to do it again so we can make it easy and keep it in our heads. You're going to find that location. You're going to click on the number. You're going to find the employee you're looking for. I'm just going to go ahead and use one of these guys here. So BizLearner 2. And here is another view of the profile. However, on this profile view, we can see that this person, see how it says add content? This person has all kinds of courses that have been added. We're going to scroll down. If we want to add another one, we're just going to hit add course and we're going to search. Good example, New Hope. Let's see if I can find STC here. There, it just pops up. Add courses. Sorry, this is just me being on a computer without my mouse here. Okay, so I want to show you a few things. So if you see at the top here, it says internal courses. Those are all ASA courses that you are very familiar with already. However, if we scroll down a bit further, we're going to see public courses. These are all of those additional courses that we have decided you might be interested in, and you can now stream those through our system. So please know that there is a difference. There's internal, there's public courses, and then they're still internal, but the bundles that you are used to seeing, or the learning plans as you would call them, learning plans are now bundles. Not a big difference, but they're now bundles. And if we scroll all the way down here, those show up. You can practically just go straight to the bottom for the NSTC bundles. And I'm going to admit readily, I don't exactly know why those are separated from our internal, other than the differences. They are bundles rather than just singular courses, but they're already bundled. You can see the prices right there. You can see that, yes, indeed, these are Alaska Safety Alliance. Our names are right next to them. And you can go ahead and let's say we want to do energy isolation. We're going to do energy isolation 1 and 2. You're simply going to add that card, add that course, and it's done. If I want that second one, I'm going to get rid of that one. You're going to hit submit. Please don't forget to hit submit. As you hit submit, you're going to see, it takes you right back to the user page. You got to go back into the learner. Sorry about that. All right, go back in, pick your learner, and you can see at the very top, hey, I've got NSTC Energy Isolation 1 and 2, good to go. If I want to take that back off, it is just that simple. Good. And we do charge upon completions, the same as we always did, not enrollment. So if you enroll somebody, you have to take them away, take it off a week later because they didn't do it. That's okay. We didn't charge you. We're not charging you until a course is completed. We never have, never will. All right.
Carrie, can I just add one thing in here?
Yes, please.
So So the prices that you'll see when you're on this add content page are the non-member pricing, but just so you know, when your invoices is being completed, once that learner has completed a course, you will be charge the appropriate member pricing.
Yeah, thank you. Good, Evan. All right, so I just want to remind you, it's really, really easy, but don't forget to hit submit. If you just add it, it can look pretty easily like you've actually added onto the list until you hit submit. Go back into that user and just look at the top section to make sure that you've actually added it. Good. Thank you, Teresa. Any questions on any of that, anybody? Okay, wonderful. I'm going to show you how to pull a report next. We're going to go to reporting. Actually, absolutely. I might be a project manager since I came here, but as a safety person at heart, I am loving this reporting feature. So if you want to manipulate this report, I'm just going to show you this right away because it's kind of easy to forget that you have to hit this button first to manipulate this, but it's edit reporting right here at the bottom. So if you've already got what you need on that screen, let's say you made a report a week ago and it saves it the way you leave it, then you don't have to keep doing this. But if you want a different report, etc., you can go back in and you can edit it. But it's really nice because you can decide this is how I want my report, and until you change it again, it's going to stay that way. So that's a pretty nice feature. So edit reporting. And all sections of this can actually be moved around, but you've got to hit edit reporting first. So let's say, well, we start with training completed, which is clearly one that most people would want to see on their reports. But let's say that's not the first thing that we want to see necessarily. I can go ahead, and as long as this is unlocked, right, I'm going to show you. Yes, it's locked now, so it will not move. I'm going to unlock that, and I can actually move. Oh, see, I got to go back into edit reporting. If you see this button pop up, you got to, oh, what happened? I'm sorry, I lost my screen. Just one moment. There we go. Edit reporting.
I think you need to start sharing again.
Can you guys see my screen?
No, I can't see it right now.
I'm not sure how I did that. I apologize. Just a moment. Back. Just stop sharing, but it shows that I'm sharing my screen, so I'm a bit stumped here.
Do you want to try to hit stop sharing on your end and then reshare? Oh, I see something now.
I think we're good. Sorry about that. I just had to get everything to pop up. Everything didn't. All right. Thank you for that. Okay, so I'm going to go down here, and let's say I want to drag this up to the top. I want to move it. Right now, it just doesn't want to let me. There we go. So completed training moved down. So I can move these around, manipulate them, lock them, etc. There are some of these, we call these widgets. So if you want to add a widget, you can, and you can see those widgets at the bottom. Course codes, driver information, graphs, location, required training, etc. Do you see all those little blue boxes at the bottom? So that's telling you what your options are to add widgets, which is just this little section. And then you can move those around. And some of these widgets, not all of them, they have additional little settings here. Or they might have just a toggle switch that adds a column or takes away a column. Good example, if you wanted a completion percentage on some of these widgets, you can just toggle a percentage on. If you don't want that, you can toggle it off. So this one good example is if I want sublocation data in my report. If I don't, then I'll leave that off. If I do, I'll just go ahead and turn it on, and then I'll show you those different locations as well. Any questions on any of that so far? I will drill down more. Okay. So let's say I would like to see what Biz Learner did. So I can see right here the completion, how many times they took it, if it's in progress, how many courses are incomplete, etc. If I want to know more about Biz Learner's information, I can just drill right down in there. If I needed to, let's say I need a new certificate for their NSTC 2022 NSTC Last Safety Handbook, I can go right here and download that. And boom, I have a certificate. Questions on any of that? Okay, so you can really drill pretty far down into these reports to find what you need. You've got all, typically you'd have a little bit more information because this is just a test account. It's not showing quite everything, I don't think, but yeah, it's pretty darn easy to go ahead and look into people's specific training records. And here you go, it's that easy. You can see a detailed course completion report if this is how you would like to see it. Okay, I'm going to back out of here and then I'm going to show you how you can also do an Excel report. So the training completed by location, etc. You have an option to click Excel report here. And that'll open up my course summary, etc. So how easy is that, right? I love it. Does anybody have any questions on this? You know, you guys might not realize how handy this is sometimes, but very often we will have folks that actually call you as member company support or admin or power users of time. And they will tell you things like, well, I spent an hour in here, I spent 2 hours, or I just don't know what happened. And we can very clearly see, and now you can see, they spent 9 minutes or they spent 3 minutes, etc. It is kind of handy when you got someone that's kind of trying to get away with maybe not doing their training. I hate to say it, but we all know that happens. You can actually see what's going on in here very well. You've got a lot of analytics to work with. Any questions on that? All right, wonderful. Teresa, is there anything I should squeeze in this section that you can think of?
Nope, and I don't see anything in the chat either.
Great, perfect. Thank you for looking at that. All right. That is pretty much everything we wanted to show you today. Do you have any questions on any of that? Wonderful. Okay, so just a quick session wrap up, and I am going to actually just stay here and stay online for about another 15-20 minutes. Teresa, do you happen to know if they're activated quite yet?
I have not gotten confirmation of that yet.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So I'll just talk about this for a minute. Session wrap up. I just want to talk about monthly invoicing. Again, I know I already mentioned this. We're not changing anything about our invoicing. It's still based upon completions. It's still once a month. We're still invoicing everybody that was invoiced prior to this. We will be sending out a follow-up email. The URL is going to change for this. So on August 22nd, right around the corner, you're going to want to start using the URL that we're sending out in this email. As well, if you have other ways that you access our LMS, sometimes it's maybe you're not on your computer, you're out doing something. It's really easy to go to our website, alaskasafetyalliance.org, and in the top right corner, you hit login, and that's going to take you to our learning management system. That URL will be switched as soon as that new system is on. So that's another easy way to find it. If you forget to use the URL in the new email, that's okay. There are several ways to get in there, and the URLs will all be correct on that time at that date. So that's this Sunday, right? Coming up pretty quick. Recording of this training will be available shortly. We're actually going to include that link as well, so I can tweak my training a little bit, maybe make the next one a little bit better, a little bit smoother. This is my first training of this, so thank you very much for putting up with me, reading a little more than I like to in typical trainings. And we will be activating those senior reporting members again as soon as this training is done. In fact, right now, Teresa's probably checking on that, but if I don't get an answer, I'll just go ask Ty. We'll get you activated right away. And you can explore, and again, I'll stay on for about another 15-20 minutes if you want to explore a little bit and ask any questions you've got. Maybe while you're poking around, let me know. And a reminder, if anyone who you've signed up for a course has not completed that course by about August 19th to the 20th, maybe the 21st at the latest. I always like to tell people when I want them to show up at noon, show up at 11:30. So maybe it actually happens by noon, right? So maybe tell your folks if you get this done by the 19th or the 20th, that would be really good. And then if any stragglers come through on those last days, if you have already, I know most of you get billed, but if you have already paid for a training, please let us know. Don't re-enroll them in the new system. We will help you and make sure that you do not get charged twice. We don't want to do that, but for the most part, most of you are getting invoiced, so that should not be an issue. If you know of anyone that maybe hasn't completed their training, we'll work with you. We'll figure it out. We'll make sure you don't get double charged, and we'll make sure that everybody has access as they need, but please do encourage folks, remind them, hey, please get your training done. This will make everything a little bit smoother, a little less for us to concentrate on later. Any questions on that? See something in the chat. Is this system live now? This system is live now. The system is live now, and you are going to be able to use it here in about 5 minutes. So the old system and the new system are not being simultaneously used, just so you know. So if you're not looking in the chat, someone has asked, is the system live now? Yes, it is live, but it is not going live for everyone until the 22nd. You guys are allowed to have access ahead of time because we want to make sure that you understand how to use it. We don't want to cause any delays. The old system and the new system are not being simultaneously used. If you're enrolling someone as of yesterday, it would be DeChapo. Now we want to get into the new system. We're going to pull all of those records over. We've done large amounts of data dumps already, starting back in April, May. But now we're going to do some more, and we're going to make sure absolutely everybody's in there. So again, if you have any issues, let us know. We're trying very hard to avoid those issues. Good question, Kim. All right. Thanks, Kim. Okay. So a few more things to talk about real quick. For additional features, follow-up conversations, things like bulk enrollment, custom portals, matrices, etc. We want you to know that there are a lot of features coming. If you want to reach out to us for any of that information, you can, but we will also be rolling that information out to you as it becomes available. Please note there are trainings from various vendors all over the world, and I know I talked about this, but I really want to make sure you understand that this is a great thing. This is an awesome thing. However, if you just look up HAZCOM training as the SRM and throw somebody in HAZCOM training, it could be HAZCOM for OSHA, or it could be HAZCOM for a Canadian requirement. So please know that, be aware of that, make sure that if you need clarification, again, I like the store. The store tells me, oh, this is OSHA, oh, this is Canada's version. So it's got more details if you're not sure what you're enrolling into. Good. I'm sure you're all very familiar with our courses at this point, but I really want to make sure that you sign into the right ones with any of those external courses. All right, what else? And please just take a moment when you get time, if you can look through the public courses and see what's now available to you. It is quite expanded. We're pretty excited about that. You may find those in our system. If you have trainings that you already do through another system, we definitely encourage you to talk to us about it, see what we can do if there's one available, or maybe it's something we can add in the future. So we're not making any promises because we've got a lot of work to do still. We got a lot of great advanced features coming online, but we definitely want you to let us know if you've got some kind of training that you like, and we want to see if either we've got it or we can provide it to you. I know one of our favorites again is hard hat safety, and you can get a lot of hard hat safety training through this as well. So pretty nice. Other than that, I've got no parking lot questions, it sounds like. Nobody has any chat questions going on that I haven't addressed. If you have no further questions, I'll go ahead and end this recording. Good.